Welcome to Round Glass. I'm Christina Dufour. Thank you for joining me for this meditation on cultivating well-being with Yoga Nidra. The goal of today's practice is to tune into sensations, release tension, and ease into deep relaxation. It's nice to let go of whatever we've picked up or taken on energetically, especially if it no longer serves us. And you know what? I really love the live component of this class. So before we settle in, I have a question for all of you here. What's one bodily sensation that you're noticing right now? Please feel free to share that in the chat if you're comfortable. Today, I want to share a little bit about my personal journey as a student of Yoga Nidra. Specifically, I want to share with you what the experience was like for me along the way once I started practicing and the benefits that I began experiencing. So I really had an understanding by the time I got to know Yoga Nidra that if I wanted to understand the practice, I had to practice it as often as possible. So I began a daily practice. And I was doing a 45-minute practice to start, and that's what I continued with. I was using different recordings from swamis and teachers who had been practicing this for a very long time, and even some of my study books had guided courses, and so I would make recordings of some of those. And as I was going along the way, every day practicing, I tried it in the morning, I tried it in the afternoon, I tried it in the evening. And I was discovering that I kind of felt like the afternoon was a good time for me because I always felt rejuvenated afterward. So it was kind of like a little afternoon nap. And in the beginning, what was happening was I was falling asleep a lot, or it seemed like I was falling asleep. I would always wake up when the practice was being brought to a close, but it was difficult for me to stay alert and awake through the whole practice. And I knew that that was part of the skill development. So as a way to support myself, I took one specific recording and I practiced that one every day. And I started having an awareness around when I would kind of go out and lose my consciousness, my awareness during the practice. And this started kind of intriguing me. It was always the same sorts of time. And then I would start to become aware of when I was actually able to stay alert and aware through the practice by using this one specific recording. And as I advanced, it became easier. I just started staying awake and aware throughout the practice, and I was able to advance with, the different techniques that are involved in terms of imagery and skills. What was very interesting to me was the duality of sensation in the beginning was kind of tough. I didn't understand that I could kind of produce these feelings aside from heaviness and lightness, the cold and the hot, the pain and the pleasure. Those took a while for me to kind of become familiar with awakening inside myself. Once I started staying awake, I started noticing a lot of shifts occurring. I would say in the first month to 3 months, a lot of benefits came from the practice, and I was noticing them in my yoga asana, and my joints were more open, my muscles were more flexible, just out of the blue. I was staying more kind of level and even in terms of my emotional responses to things that would normally potentially trigger me or upset me. I had some sort of spaciousness from and an ability to be a little bit more equanimous with those things. I was noticing that I was able to retain information that I was learning much more easily. So a lot of little tiny shifts were occurring in these first 3 months or so that I was very aware of. And then as I continued to practice, a lot of these things started deepening, including the feeling of just being more energized, more awake, less tense. My energy felt lighter. My body felt lighter. And I was feeling like even the processes of my organs were better because of the practice. What was very interesting was when I started teaching people and they were telling me that they were getting these sorts of same benefits along the way. And I kind of saw the same trajectory in people. So that's a little bit of my story. And I want to thank everyone for sharing in the chat. I see that some of you are feeling cold, heavy eyelids, tension in the shoulders. Oh, we have an upset stomach, tingling toes. Okay, you can bring all of that into practice with you, and I want to welcome you. So if it's your first time trying Yoga Nidra, I do hope you like it. We're going to get into our posture now. So the posture we take for Yoga Nidra is laying down, Shavasana. Traditionally, we don't use any props, but I want to encourage you to support yourself so that you feel fully comfortable. That could mean a bolster beneath your knees, maybe a light pillow beneath your head. You can also have a light cover over the body. You'll lay down just like this, on your back with your arms and legs outstretched. So please take this posture now. You'll see me getting up from the posture because I'm going to instruct you from a seated position, but I'd like for you to stay laying down throughout the practice. And I'll bring us up to close from a seat together. Good, so you're laying down now, and I want you to just take these first few moments to make any little adjustments you might need to feel fully comfortable. And then begin to feel the body. Feel the whole body. Feel the whole body together. And feel your body in contact with the ground. Parts of your body are touching the ground. Bring your awareness to your heels. Feel your heels touching the ground. Feel that place where the heels and the floor meet. And now from the top of the body, feel the head touching the ground. Feel the place where the head and the floor meet. Now feel your shoulder blades in the floor, arms, floor, hands, floor. Feel your hips touching the floor, legs and floor, heels and floor. Feel the whole body touching the floor. Feel the whole body touching the floor. And now see if you can sense the space between the body and the floor. Sense the space between the body and the floor. It is neither the body nor the floor, but more of an abstract experience. Sensing the space between. One whole space from your head to your heels. Sense the space between the body and the floor, almost as if it were like an energy. And imagine that space getting bigger. The energy in the space between the body and the floor growing. And then sense the space between your lips. The space between your lips. And the space between the body and the floor. And the space between your lips. Between the body and the floor. Between the lips. Now sense the space between the eyelids, the place where the upper and lower eyelids meet. Sense the space in between them. And the space between your lips. And the space between the body and the floor. Eyelids, lips, body and floor. Lips, eyelids, body and floor. Feel the space between the body and the floor. And now notice how still your body is right now. Your body is very still as it is laying here on the floor. Become aware of the stillness. And notice that there is a subtle movement occurring from your breathing. See if you can begin watching your breathing. Your body has been breathing this whole time without you thinking about it. So you just watch the body breathing. Be a witness of it. Don't try to change it or manipulate it in any way. And as you observe the natural breath, as you observe the natural breathing, you may notice that it naturally moves from navel to throat and throat to navel. See if you can feel that naturally occurring in the body when the body is breathing and you are observing it. You can feel the breath in the body moving from navel to throat on the inhale and throat to navel on the exhale. Become aware of this. Observe it. Observing the natural breathing from navel to throat and throat to navel. That is all. And now release your connection to the breathing. And we will move through awareness of the body. Follow along with me as we go through different parts of the body together. You can mentally state the names of each part after me in your mind if you'd like, and bring more awareness to them. Feel all 10 fingers, all 10 fingers together on both hands, the palms of both hands, the backs of both hands and all 10 fingers together, both wrists, both forearms, both elbows, upper arms, both shoulders, armpits, both rib cage, both sides of the waist, both hips, 2 thighs, your knees. Feel both of your calves and lower legs at the same time. Ankles, both heels. Feel the soles of both feet. The soles of both feet at the same time, and all 10 toes. Feel all 10 toes. Now feel the soles of both feet at the same time. The soles of both feet. Both buttocks. The whole lower back. The whole middle back. Upper back. Both shoulder blades. The spinal cord. The whole back together. Feel the back of your neck. Back of your head. Top of your head. Forehead. Your temples. Both ears. Both eyes. Both eyebrows. The center between the 2 eyebrows. Your nose. Tip of your nose. Both lips. Chin. Throat. The whole chest together. Heart. Stomach. Navel. Abdomen. Feel the whole body together. Feel the whole body together. And begin to awaken the experience of heaviness in the body. Feel the whole body becoming heavy. Imagine the body is so heavy it is sinking down into the ground. The legs are heavy. The arms are heavy. The torso is heavy. The head is heavy. As you feel heaviness in the whole body, imagine that your body is like steel. Your body is like steel. No flesh, no bones, just a steel body. Legs are like steel. Arms are like steel. The whole body is like steel, so heavy it sinks down. So heavy it sinks down. Heavy body. Heavy body made of steel, very heavy body. Now awaken the sensation of lightness. Feel your head becoming light. Your head is so light it can lift up off the ground. The arms are light. Trunk is light. Legs are light. The whole body is light. Imagine your body is like cotton. Your body is so light it is like cotton. And as you imagine your body like cotton, you see your body floating, becoming lighter and lighter. very light body, light cotton body, very light body like cotton. And now we will alternate the sensations. Imagine your body again like steel, a very heavy body like steel sinking down. Imagine your body like steel sinking down, very heavy. Now back to cotton. Imagine your body like cotton, very light, floating, body light like cotton. And again like steel. Imagine your body like steel, very heavy, sinking down. Heavy body, steel. Imagine your body like cotton, very light body. Feel your body very light like cotton. And again like steel, very heavy like steel, the body sinking down. And again very light like cotton, the body floating, drifting up, light like cotton, very light like cotton. Imagine yourself standing in a field, 2 bare feet on the grass. Look down and see 2 bare feet on the grass. You're in a bright, open field. The sun is shining. You're holding a dandelion in your hand. And you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. And you see the colors of green in the trees around you and the grass beneath you, the blue of the sky, the white of the drifting clouds. And you take a big breath and you blow at this flower in your hand and you watch all the seeds blow off and float into the wind. And as the wind picks up and blows those seeds, you feel the cool breeze against your skin. Now look over and off to your left. In the distance, you'll see a well in this field, a well that you'll walk over to. As you walk over to this well, you feel the grass cushioning beneath your feet. Birds are flying, singing. And when you get to the well, you look down into it and you see the depths, the deep, dark depths of the well as you look down into it, pitch black. There is a bucket on a chain, and you lower that bucket down into the well. You lower the bucket down into the well and you watch the bucket go from the light and down into the dark until you can no longer see it. You wiggle the chain and you can feel the bucket on the chain, but you cannot see it. You bring that bucket back up, winding it all the way back up from the darkness into the light and back up to the top. And now, if you'd like, you can get into the bucket and I will lower you down and bring you back up. You're getting into the bucket now and I'm beginning to lower you down. You see the light is still around you as you're being lowered into the well. And that light becomes dim until you are low and in the darkness. Darkness is all around you as you go further into the depths of the well. And now you are resting down deep in the well, surrounded by darkness. You can't see yourself. You can't see anything, but you know that you are there. I lower you down a little further, and you know that you are there. And then I begin to bring you back up, and you feel the bucket lifting back up. As the bucket raises back up out of the darkness into the dim light and then into the sunlight, you get up and out of the bucket and you stand in the grass beside the well. Now see a mirror. See a mirror you know well and see your reflection in it. Clear off the mirror if you need to. See your reflection and look into your own eyes. Om Tat Tat. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now coming to a close. Let the imagery in your mind fade and feel your body before you move it. Feel your whole body and then take some gentle movement. Open your eyes and look around a little bit. You'll be bringing yourself out of the practice gradually and slowly, coming to find a finishing seat as you're ready. And I want you to just kind of notice what that experience was like for you. Notice how you're feeling now. Take in the space around you very well, and then come to a seat. Now, there are often some commonly asked questions that come up after we practice, so I'll address some of those now as you make your way to a finishing seat. One question is, why do we always keep moving from one thing to the next in Yoga Nidra practice? Well, one of the reasons for that is to sustain this state that we're trying to bring the brain into, this alpha wavelength. And we want to keep from going too deep into theta or delta or lower brain wavelengths. And we want to keep from getting psychic imagery presenting itself to us, or hallucination, kind of dreamlike imagery presenting itself to us. We want to be able to stay with the instruction and the technique without additional things coming through, so that we can actually create and sustain the state for the most optimal benefit. If there were too much spaciousness, particularly once we get into the imagery and different techniques, then the practice would often be interrupted by the psyche. So we're keeping from that. Another question is, how is Yoga Nidra different than the yoga class at my local gym? Well, often the yoga classes at your local gym are yoga asana. So that's the third limb of the eight-limbed path of yoga. Whereas pratyahar is further down the line. It's a practice of sense withdrawal. Yoga asana is a way for us to get in touch with our physical body and start to kind of look at the body as the temple for housing the spirit. And we've practiced yamas and niyamas, hopefully, or are practicing as we move into yoga asana, and then pranayama, breathing practices, as a way to purify and cleanse and prepare us for practices like Yoga Nidra or pratyahar, where we get to really withdraw from the physicality of the body, from the senses of the body, and deepen that further connection to our witnessing awareness or our spiritual nature, and get the benefits of the healing and alignment that come from that. So thank you for sharing this time together, and please do continue to explore meditation with us. You can check our daily live meditations at round.glass or on our app, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your weekend.